This is the story of Dashrath Manjhi, the man who carved a mountain. In the heart of rural India in the 1940s, there lived a young man named Dashrath Manjhi in a small village called Gehlaur. He was a poor villager, often seen wearing simple, worn clothes, going barefoot, living in a small hut made of mud and straw surrounded by other dusty huts. One day, early in the morning, as the sun peeked over the horizon, casting a golden glow over the landscape, we see Dashrath walking towards the mouth of a dark and dank coal mine where he worked as a miner. Inside the mine, the air was thick with smoke and the only light came from a dim lantern swinging from a rickety frame. The walls were lined with jagged rocks and the floor was littered with discarded tools. The scene was one of hardship and toil, a testament to the lives of those who worked in the mines. Dashrath's face was covered in soot, making it difficult to discern his features, but we could see the strength in his muscular arms as he swung his pickaxe with practiced ease. Sparks flew from the striking tool as he chipped away at the rocks, sending tiny pebbles flying through the air like miniature meteor showers. Outside the mine, the sun beat down on the parched earth, turning the world into a shimmering haze. The air was heavy with the scent of dust and the sound of crickets chirping. As the sun began its slow descent, casting long shadows across the land, we see Dashrath walking along a dangerous mountain trail with his wife. The path was narrow and winding, clinging precariously to the side of a steep cliff. On one side, there was nothing but a dizzying drop into the abyss below. On the other side, the trail was hemmed in by equally high and imposing cliffs. The sky was overcast, hinting at the struggle that lay ahead. Suddenly, Dashrath slips and falls, injuring his wife. With a desperate look on his face, he quickly helps her up and cradles her in his arms. She's hurt and the nearest medical facility is far away. The ground beneath them is dry and rocky, offering no respite from the unforgiving terrain. In the distance, an endless dirt road stretched out, promising little more than a continuation of their current plight. It was a scene of quiet desperation, a moment of crisis in the life of an ordinary couple. The next morning, the sky was clear and the sun shone brightly as Dashrath stood before a massive ridge of rock. In his hand, he held only a simple hammer and chisel. His eyes, however, burned with determination. This was the obstacle that stood between him and his village, a barrier that had been an inconvenience for generations. But Dashrath was about to change that. With the first strike of his hammer on the rock, a shower of sparks flew into the air, each one a tiny testament to his resolve. As he chipped away at the stone, the rhythmic ring of the hammer echoed through the valley. Beads of sweat trickled down his forehead, but he didn't stop. The villagers came by, some curious, others mocking. They saw a man toiling alone on the rocky hillside, seemingly oblivious to the futility of his task. People laughed and pointed at him, their words sharp as knives. But Dashrath didn't falter. He worked tirelessly day after day. The monsoon arrived, bringing with it torrential rains that lashed against the stones. But Dashrath didn't stop. He stood firm, letting the water splash over him, soaking his clothes and blurring his vision. Still, he chiseled. As the midday heat shimmered in the distance, the shadow of his chisel danced on the rock face, a silent partner in his endeavor. Slowly, inch by inch, the hill began to yield. What seemed like an insurmountable task gradually became a bit more manageable. After years of relentless work, half of the hill had been carved into a narrow road. It was a testament to Dashrath's unwavering dedication, a tangible representation of his dream. Close up, his hands were rough, calloused and blistered. The worn wooden handle of his hammer seemed like an extension of his arm. Time passed. We see a montage of Dashrath's life passing before our eyes. From a young man with black hair to an older man with streaks of white, yet he never stopped working. Finally, the day arrived when the last stone was removed. The villagers came out to see for themselves. For the first time, they saw not just a stubborn man, but a hero. The road was a triumph, a smooth dirt pathway that cut through the once impenetrable rock. People walked through the opening for the first time. Children ran and played, their laughter echoing in the narrow passage. Dashrath stood at the entrance of the path, his hammer and chisel resting on his shoulder. A wide smile crinkled his eyes, his chest swelling with pride. He looked out at the villagers who were now free to walk through the hills to the other side. As the sun dipped below the horizon, bathing the landscape in hues of orange and purple, we find Dashrath sitting beside the road he built. The sky blazed with colors, reflecting the turmoil and triumph of the past years. Close up on his weathered face, deep wrinkles etched by the sun and wind told the tale of decades of struggle and perseverance. His kind eyes twinkled with the light of 1,000 sunsets, each crease and line a testament to his enduring spirit. The villagers gathered around Dashrath, presenting him with garlands and gifts in a colorful rural Indian ceremony. It was a celebration of human spirit, a tribute to the man who dared to dream big and work tirelessly to make that dream a reality. Years later, a statue of Dashrath Manjhi stands overlooking the road he carved. The monumental sculpture captures him in mid-stride, hammer and chisel in hand, symbolizing his relentless pursuit of progress. The road itself, a marvel of engineering, cuts through the once impenetrable rock, connecting two ends of the valley and fostering unity among the villagers. From a single spark to a blazing trail, Dashrath's legacy continues to inspire. His story echoes through the ages, reminding us that even the mightiest obstacles can be overcome with sheer determination and hard work. And so the tale of Dashrath Manjhi, the man who carved the mountain out of sheer grit and determination, lives on, serving as a beacon of hope and inspiration for generations to come. Comment below which of these images impacted you the most and why. And if you want to see more video like this, don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned.